Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, and thank you all for being here and for all of your support. Today's pick a card reading is a fun one. We are going to see, what do people assume about you? In front of me I have 3 different options. This is group 1, group 2, and group 3. Choose the one that really calls out to you. Okay, let's get started. Hey, group number 1. Okay, so what do people assume about you? Okay, group number 1. So right away we start off the reading with the 3 of Swords here. So that tells me that people view you guys like a heartbreaker. Okay, so yeah, they feel like, you get a lot of attention and pursued by a lot of different people that, it's kind of like, I'm just getting this feeling of you don't really have to commit to get what you want from anyone. And people just feel like, they'll get attached to you and you'll just move on with this 10 of Swords here. Like it's nothing, okay? Yeah, like, so that's interesting to me. That's coming through strong, okay? So yeah, you guys, you are seen to be heartbreakers with the Knight of Water reversed, okay, in this deck. That can mean players. So you guys are also seen to be like players. Like I said, like there's this feeling, and especially like clarified with the 10 of Cups reversed. Okay, like there is no happy ending for somebody who is involved with you. At least that's what they assume by the way that you come across, okay? I'm not saying this is true. But and you don't necessarily have to be a player, but what's coming to me about that is you probably talk to multiple people at a time when you're single. And, I mean, on one hand, it's kind of like you're not seeing any of them and you might be kind of weighing it, like who fits you best, like kind of a little bit of a bachelor or bachelorette approach to dating. Something like that's coming through where you feel like it's totally justified. You know what I mean? And it gives the impression like people feel like, oh, okay, who is this player? So yeah. And okay, so the other thing that's coming across, but this is going to be for a smaller portion of you, is that some of you might have actually gone through a breakup. Okay, so people, they know that about you, that you are moving on from something and you're kind of down with love right now. Like you're not, and you're kind of like, done with love is how you come across. So that's going to go for some of you. Kind of like you're not open to even the possibility of taking anyone new seriously is the energy I'm getting. So just like kind of like that light casual fun, but nothing serious. Okay. Again, that's only going to go for some of you that have recently gone through a breakup. But yeah, there is this feeling though, whether you have gone through a breakup recently or not, that some people still assume though that you guys aren't over an ex, okay? Like, it's almost like you play around with the idea of anybody new, but you don't really take it seriously is what's coming across, so they figure you're probably waiting for an ex to come around, okay? Yeah, so that's interesting. Okay, so with this card, I get people people assume that you guys would not hesitate to cut people out of your life, okay? So it's kind of like, you have boundaries, and if people cross those boundaries, you don't hesitate. You're like, kind of like that thing, like you're only as amazing as the people that you hang around. There's something that talks like that, and it's kind of like you feel like if people are bringing you down or they cross the boundary, you don't hesitate to cut them out, Yeah, so, all right, but then we have my butterfly card that says you're upbeat, playful, carefree, but there is that twinge of jadedness, happy-go-lucky, and you are just kind of floating and flowing and through life right now, just kind of doing your thing. And it's kind of like you can't help but be noticed by people with the butterfly. They think you're attractive, they think you're fun, you're upbeat, so often they do wear their heart on their sleeve for you, and you're just like not taking it seriously. That's the other thing. I feel like you guys kind of like flirt naturally when you talk, and it's just part of your charm. And I feel like people kind of hang on that, like they think, oh my gosh, like yeah, like they feel drawn to you like a magnet, and they think you're on the same page and you're not, and you didn't know all along they were taking this seriously. You're like, this is just who I am. And then you kind of fly off like the butterfly, and they're left like pining away over you, is what I'm seeing. All right, so with the clouds, the house, and the bear, Lenormand. Okay, so yeah, you guys with the cloud, like I said, like 1 minute people think you're on the same page as them, and then the next minute they feel left in the dark. Okay, so you definitely have like this mysteriousness about you where people don't know quite where they stand with you, which is interesting because I feel like you feel the same way about people, or maybe about a specific person, and they're not wrong about you missing somebody, whether an ex or just somebody that it never took off with. And yeah, like I said, you're just kind of entertaining everyone else, but not quite taking it seriously because your heart is with somebody else. Okay, and then these people are unintentionally getting their heart broken, and you're thinking, what, why? Like, I'm just being me, you know? So they do assume that, you know, you're not an open book, and you don't, you know, your heart's guarded. And yet, it's almost like they kind of get the feeling of being led on by you. And you're just going to be like, well, that's on them. Like, I'm just being me, you know? I wasn't promising anything. And along with that, so I feel like you guys are really making a life for yourself right now. You're very focused on your home life, your career with the bear card, and just really, you know, leveling up in the area of finances. So you do come across as being independent as well as successful, or on your way to success, okay? And just very focused, okay? So people do assume that kind of like you're married to your job, but it's not exactly that. It's just I feel like it does demand a lot of your attention and time. And then we have Mars. So with that, I feel like you guys are very action-oriented people. Okay, it's like you let your actions speak for you. And I feel like, you know, you see right through being handed lines. Like, you're like, okay, like, we'll see if your actions match up. And when they don't, that's where you cut them off, okay? So yeah, this all like ties together. The other thing about the actions is like, I feel like you think, you know, it's kind of like you don't have to talk, okay? You definitely have this natural fierceness about you, and like I said, like you let your actions speak for you, and often that's with cutting people out. You'll just be like, yeah, this isn't working for me, whether relationship, friend-wise, family member, doesn't matter. You're very true to yourself in that way, and you follow through with what you say, so you have this like integrity about you. And often I feel like you call out those that don't do that, their words don't match their actions, or their actions don't match their words. And along with that, okay, so I'm actually getting the feeling that you guys, you're like, wow, okay, this person is all bark and no bite, okay? So yeah, you like call people's bluff, okay? You think a lot of people are all talk. And you just kind of observe that, and you're like, yeah, we'll see, you know, we'll see if this person means what they say. Okay, so with Uranus revolution, I feel like actually what's coming to me in regards to that is you guys are kind of a wild card, okay? You have this like, you don't, as soon as things start to feel comfortable or predictable in your routine, in your daily life, it's kind of like you do something on purpose to shake it up, okay? And often that's with the people that you talk to. So whether it's somebody you're seeing romantically or friends, it's kind of like you all of a sudden do something that'll like shake things up, get things interesting again, okay? Because you do not like routine. So as far as that goes and what people assume about you, it's kind of like they think they got you pegged. They think they've got you figured out, and then all of a sudden you do something or say something that totally throws people off. So really they don't know what to assume from you except for assume the unexpected, basically. So you keep people at the edge of their seats, okay? I feel like you guys too are a bit of a thrill seeker, okay? With the Mars and the Uranus combined, it's just like this like interesting, you know, energetic dynamic you have going on. Okay, and then with the lipstick, it's really standing out to me all of a sudden, and I feel like, yes. Okay, so you guys, you guys are like natural baddies, and you naturally look good, but your makeup is usually on point too, and I just feel like you drive people crazy because here you are, looking all good and stuff, but none of them can have you. It's like the butterfly, okay? Like they see you, they admire you, they want to catch you, but they can't. That's you guys. I feel like you get a kick out of that too. Okay, and then we have the ninth house. So you guys are definitely truth seekers, and some of you, like to travel and like just get in touch with your inner world by whatever inspires you out in the world. Okay, so yeah, it's just coming through that, I feel like depending on what you post or what you've mentioned, people might assume that, yeah, this person's spiritual, or they're into truth seeking, but there's definitely, though, this level of worldliness with you guys too. Okay, so you're a real interesting balance. Like I said in another video, like a modern spiritual person, like you don't have to go off and meditate somewhere. Like you will find it in everyday activities or like, walks out in nature. Okay, so, but the more you speak to people, the more they start to assume this about you. Like, and I feel like they get intrigued by this. Okay, like they want to know more. Yeah, okay. And then we have the 12th house, surrender, which is all about, that shadow work and shining the light on fears and this and that. And I feel like you guys have done the work. Okay, so again, like with the 9th and 12th house, like your presence, what you post, there's something about you where people know, like you guys, you come across like you are spiritual, your consciousness is, heightened, and your intuition. And just like you're kind of like a modern monk, you know what I mean? Like I feel like too, people are intrigued by your energy because, like I said, you have this balance of like half spiritual, half modern, and very go-getter in the world, but at the same time you like to really dive into what you're interested in and spend time on that as well. So yeah, group one. All in all though, group one, okay, so I know I called you a heartbreaker and possibly like a player as far as what they assume, but it's more like you guys just come across like you're hard to get for whatever reason. Some assume it's because you're hung up on an ex or waiting to hear from somebody specific, okay? And others just feel like, almost like they question if they're good enough for you, because I feel like you do get a lot of attention and hit up a lot, and it's kind of like you're choosy because of that, and you are intuitive. So it's kind of like you already know, like, does someone fit your vibe or not? And so, yeah, you are choosy, you are hard to get, you do value your time and energy, and you are busy, and goal-oriented. So it's like you don't have time to just entertain all these people or go out on these dates with people that you're just energetically not feeling it. So it's kind of like, that whole thing, like people are into you, and then as soon as you tell them you won't go on a date with them, all of a sudden they call you something like, okay, this person's a player, or, they're blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, a minute ago you were interested, and now that you're not getting what you want, they're like calling you something. Yeah, so again, it's just, it's you being true to you, and you sticking to what resonates and what doesn't. And people will interpret that however they want. But yeah, okay, group number one, this is what I see for you guys. If this resonates, let me know in the comments. And if it does, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Group number two. Okay, so what do people assume about you? Okay, group number two. So right away, we start off the energetic dynamic with the Six of Wands. And this one in particular, okay? So that makes me feel like, people assume that you get a lot of attention, okay? Like you are in the spotlight. Whether you are or you're not, it's like how you come across, how your energy and presence comes across. So they feel like, you have a lot of different people pursuing you, with the Five of Wands next to that, and there's just kind of this competitive vibe to even, you know, I feel like when people shoot their shot with you, they feel like, what can I say that's different to really get your attention, okay? Like they want to stand out to you. They want to appear special to you, because I feel like you guys do come across as being special, unique, and like a gem, okay? And basically like a star, whether you're in the spotlight or not. But we do have the influencer card, so you guys, your whole demeanor and personality does come across like you are an influencer of some kind, okay? Whether on social media or in person. And then to carry that even further, it's interesting how all these cards go hand in hand. There's something in particular about your voice as well as speaking goes, okay? So I feel like people could just listen to it forever, okay? And so I do feel like they assume that you guys either, you know, you speak for a living, you speak on social media, or, you know, like podcasts, just something. And kind of like if you don't, like you should, okay? And yeah, and along with influencer, I feel like you guys have a way with knowledge, you know, learning what it is that interests you, as well as assimilating that into speaking about it and teaching people something, or informing them about something, or entertaining them about, you know, whatever it is that's your area. So that's interesting, group 2. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you do speak for a living, or and like what platform. You know, now I'm curious. Okay, so along with that, you know, you guys also with the Six of Wands, that's a very like success card, okay? So you guys are seen to be a success, whether you feel like you are or you're not, okay? You just have winner written on you. And I know, like a lot of things, goals and stuff, they take time, they take, you know, dedication, work, and it's a process, right? Like things don't always just take off overnight. For maybe some platforms they do, but often they don't, you know, and that's where the Seven of Pentacles comes from, right? Like patience, and then you will see results. So I feel like overall though, like I said, like you get to see like the background in what it takes to do what it is you do, but others, they really just feel like you were born like a success is what I'm seeing. So they kind of assume that things just flowed effortlessly for you, almost like you guys come across like you're lucky, okay? You're seen as skilled and talented as well, but there's just like this luck feeling about you, like the universe is on your side for whatever reason. Okay, so with the Ace of Pentacles here, I actually was getting the Two of Pentacles vibe with this card, and I just felt like, you know, you guys, well, going off the Ace first of Pentacles, you do come across like an opportunist. Okay, so you hear about an opportunity, you jump on it if it inspires you. Okay, you don't just dream about it. You don't just wait around or vacillate, or, you know, I feel like you do. You jump at opportunity, okay? Whereas in the past, maybe you didn't. But either way, so. And then with the Two of Pentacles vibe that I was getting from that, I feel like you guys, you are skilled at juggling multiple things, okay, and doing well at it. So people are assuming, as far as that goes, is that you've got a lot going on, they assume. Okay, like you do come across like you are probably always working on something with this card and this card, and they just feel like, you know, they assume you don't ever have downtime, but you guys are also kind of coming across like you love what you do, so they feel like you probably prefer it that way, okay? Yeah, and they just think you're like Superwoman or Superman. Like, how in the world can you get all this stuff done? And you have such a busy schedule. And not only that, but you guys do amazing at whatever it is you do, okay? So, yeah, this is what people assume about you. So very driven, goal-oriented, ambitious, winner type of energy coming through for you guys. And I feel like you guys also inspire people to really go after their dreams. Like they get this feeling when listening to you, you know, like anything is possible, okay? And then they see that you're doing it and they think, why not me? So you make people feel capable, okay? And believe like, yes, I can do it too. So that's awesome, group 2. Love seeing that. Also, you guys come across like you have a heart. So no matter how big of a presence you get, you know, if this is social media or just in your everyday life, it's like you still come from the heart. You still remember why it is that you do what you do. So that's amazing. That's also very balanced. Okay, so you guys, you also come across as being the ideal girlfriend or boyfriend, okay? So we got like, you know, it's like full package vibes coming through. And then with the fox, I feel like, you know, that's just kind of like symbolic for how you are. You're very clever, you know. I feel like this group stops at nothing to get what they want accomplished. And you're very observant as well, okay? So you don't just like jump at any opportunity, whether it's, you know, romantically or job-wise or anything. It's kind of like you weigh it, okay? So that's also kind of Two of Pentacles energy. You weigh things, okay? You meditate on things. You see what comes to you. You see what resonates with you. And then, okay, yeah. And with the wishing well and the dreams in the heart, it's kind of like, you know, it's basically like you guys come across kind of like you're living a fairy tale, okay? Like you made something that maybe seems impossible or not a lot of people do look like it's possible, okay? So it's kind of like I said, you inspire hope in others. You're doing something, group 2, and I would love to hear what it is. Okay, yeah, okay, and then we have North Node, which is destiny. Again, you know, it's kind of like you were destined to do what you do, and you inspire that in others to tap into it. Like, where is their joy and passion? And you're like, follow it. And then Mercury with communication, voice, and influencer, okay? So yeah, you definitely have the gift of gab. I feel like you guys are also witty, you're charming, you can be funny, you know. So you're attractive, you know, your personality is awesome, your energy, that's like why you come across like the full package, group 2. Okay, and then we have allowing, which, you know, as it says, encourages, sees potential, clarifies, gives hope to, intuits, okay, grows, rewards, you know. Yeah, that's like your presence to people, okay? So this isn't really even an assumption. This is like how you come across, and it's like you inspire people, okay, to be better, to live up to their potential, to do what it is that they really want to do, okay? You get people dreaming again, basically, and then really actually taking action with the Pentacles card to making this happen, okay? Okay, so initially, for some of you, people might actually think, you know, like they see you as a big shot and successful and in the spotlight, getting a lot of attention, getting hit up a lot. They might think you know, might be more of an ice queen or king, maybe a little snobbish, stuck up. But honestly, I feel like once they get talking to you, they realize, oh wow, like you are such a sweetheart, honestly, with a heart, you know, down to earth. Very, like I said, very balanced person. But I do feel like you guys have people, and not everyone's going to see you initially like that. I'm just saying that kind of can go with the territory of being in the spotlight or getting a lot of attention, even if you're not in the spotlight. But either way, people definitely feel like they have to compete for you, okay? Because you're like a prize. Because you are like, you know, amazing to a bunch of people. So they know you're getting hit up a lot. Your pics, your posts, you know. So yeah, group 2. Okay, group number 2, this is what I see for you guys. If this resonates, let me know in the comments. And if it does, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys. Hey, group number 3. Okay, so what do people assume about you? Okay, group number 3. So right away, when I look at these cards, I'm getting a real feeling of like free spirit vibes. Okay, so you guys are really coming across like you are a free spirit, okay, who is guided by the heart with this King of Cups. Okay, so with the Fool, you know, I'm just getting this feeling like you weren't always like this, but now all of a sudden you guys are coming across like you are tapped into the heart and you really, you know, allow yourself to be moved by inspiration, and that's where your next, you know, action comes from. Whereas before it used to be, you know, whenever it would come from your mind and what you thought was logical and what you should do. And now it's just definitely more inspired action is what I'm seeing, okay? So you're definitely coming across as being, well, people assume about you now when in your presence that you are just like, you know, a free spirit who's unconventional and really embarking down this path that seems different and unique, and like just everything about this energy feels so different than you know, well, basically what I'm used to seeing. So this is interesting. In fact, these two in particular both have their eyes closed, but it has that feeling of like really just being centered within themselves, okay, and in touch with the love that's within in their heart, okay, and like every move they make is so deliberate. Okay, so it's got a very present feeling to it, you guys do. So I would also say that people assume that you guys are spiritual, okay? Yeah. I'm also getting like islandy vibes, okay? And just like a real laid backness where maybe before you guys were all about the rat race and hustle and bustle and like, you know, just more conventional and stayed in the lines, followed the rules. And now it's kind of like, you know how they say like think outside the box. Like you guys have stepped outside the box now, okay? You are completely like doing your own thing, your own way, as well as how you are now. And with Star card here, I really do feel like that's due to this transformation that you guys went through. So what do people assume about you? Well, people who are meeting you for the first time are catching on to this new you. People that have known you, they probably are projecting the past onto you, like however you used to be. Until, of course, they spend some time with you. Then they will catch on, oh, like you're different now. So I honestly think, though, that people that know you will think this is a phase and that you are going to go back to the way that you were and the way things were. All right. With the Ten of Pentacles, though, there is something about you guys that does come across, though, as being very, like, all about your circle, your tribe, okay? Like your family, your friends, I feel like mean the world to you. You guys are fiercely loyal, okay? Upon meeting you, you must mention something that gives people the impression of this, okay? And I also feel like you guys keep your circle small, okay? Yeah, I feel like people do assume and they catch on quick somehow with you that family is everything to you. Okay, with the cell phone, I feel like you guys are really good at keeping in touch with people and you really are there for people. So, you know, they assume like, okay, this person's a great communicator. It's refreshing too. I feel like you make it a point, whereas others kind of like let messages go. They don't really respond, and you're more like, no, like, I believe in creating real connections and real bonds. That's the other thing that's coming through, okay? You have a definite, deliberate energy about you, and it's like if you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it, okay? And forming connections, real connections with people also means a lot to you. So it's kind of like people know that you mean what you say, okay? Like you don't just say things because it sounds good. Okay, some of you are coming across like you are in the spotlight, okay? And whether you are or you're not, it's just kind of like this regal vibe I'm getting. So people like assume that, a lot of people like you, honestly, is what I'm getting. Yeah. Whether romantically or friend-wise, they feel like you're popular. But it's interesting because I'm also kind of getting, although you have your tribe, and yes, you do know a lot of different people, not that you consider them all friends, but it's kind of like you also have this lone wolf feeling, okay, with these cards. Like this is definitely more like when you're social and around a lot of different people, but all these people are very like in their own element and alone and just connected and all kind of around water. So I wouldn't be surprised if you guys didn't live near water. But either way, so it's interesting. On one hand, you're kind of seen to be like a lone wolf, but on the other hand, you're also viewed like you do what you want when you want, okay? Like if you want to be alone, you're cool with that. If you want to see people, you're also like that. So you're very balanced in that way. But either way, okay, I feel like they do feel like they assume you're well liked. Yeah, I'm also even getting like this, like they feel like you're admired by a lot of people. There's just something about you that like shines, okay? And then, okay, so then we have Aquarius, and Aquarius is the star. So like I was saying, definite free spirit, unconventional vibes. You might even always be like having these new ideas hit your mind, and you know, you want to execute them. Like you have a lot of goals, I feel like, that happen. Just a lot of mind expanding ideas, and like you kind of want to see what else can you do, okay? So I feel like, you know, people also assume by listening to you speak, like you're a very good communicator when you want to speak, okay? This is a very choosy group. And I feel like they think, wow, like this person's intelligent. So I guess that's like an assumption, but it's kind of like they're tapping into what you are, you know? And then we have this freedom, okay? So yeah, like you guys, you love your freedom, okay? That's not to say like you won't be with somebody, but you have to feel free when with them. You know, you are the type, you do not want to feel tied down. You don't want that trapped feeling, you know? So it's like you resonate with energies that also have that free spirit, like flow to them, is what I'm getting with that. Okay, then with Lenormand, I feel like, okay, people are always trying to figure you guys out, okay? Like, they're always checking out your social media if you have one, or asking about you, you know? And I feel like that's because there's this air of mysteriousness about you, especially with this moon card in particular, and it's like, you know, you kind of keep your feelings on the low. It's not like you post about things that are going on, except for those that you're closest to, so it's kind of like people assume. Well, they're not really assuming, they really don't have a clue what's going on in your life, okay? And that's the way you guys like it, I feel, especially if you're in the spotlight. It's kind of like you really want to keep your private life private, is what I'm seeing. So you got people's curiosity, you've got their intrigue going, okay? Okay, so with the lilies, you guys are also seeing, like, people imagine that you are a passionate lover, okay? Like, you're very sensual, and yeah. Okay, so, and then with the moon card, I feel like, you know, you're the type that if you're crushing on somebody, you like keep it on the low. Again, I don't feel like you like to broadcast that kind of stuff, even possibly, you know, even to friends. I get this very like, that's my private life. Like, nobody needs to know but me and this person, if even them, you know, like that kind of feeling. And the same is being mirrored back to you. Like, you got people crushing on you that aren't saying a thing, but they're trying to like always like keep tabs on you and know what's up, what is the latest, what are you up to, you know, how are you doing. You might even just get messaged this kind of stuff from people randomly as well. Yep, that's your fans, that's your followers, okay? That's the people crushing on you. Okay, then we have opposition balance, okay? Venus, love, 6th house, moon, feelings, and ascendant. So I feel like you guys tend to attract people without trying who are like the opposite of you, and it's like they're intrigued by your light is what I'm seeing, okay? You guys are coming across like you're like a lighthouse to people, okay? You show them the way in the dark just by shining, just by being who you are. It's kind of like, okay, with the Aquarius, I always get that feeling like you're being true to you, so it's kind of like you unconsciously give others permission to do the same. You know, you're like emitting out there that, hey, it's okay to be who you are, okay? And like, it's that whole like, the right people will find you and the wrong ones will go the other way. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like the lighthouse in you is giving everyone else permission to be like a lighthouse, okay? Just shining the light. And with the love, like I said, like, yeah, okay, so this might be a new way of being for you guys. Like I said, I do get the impression that you are very much like, you still could be like a hustler, you know, just always a go-getter type energy. But now I feel like you're tapping into this space of love, okay? Coming more from awareness, intuition, inspiration. And I feel it like, you know, and I feel like you're attracting more love because of it on the outside. So group 3, keep shining. Okay, that's the other thing that is coming across. People do feel like you have many people like wanting you, pursuing you, okay? But I almost get the impression that you guys act like you don't really care. Even if you do, okay? That's that low-key energy, okay? You guys are very low-key like that. And then with the 6th house, okay, so there might have been some kind of like diet change. Maybe you went, you know, getting like keto, vegan, something like that. Maybe you guys meditate now. I'm just feeling like different possible rituals, practices, and lifestyle changes you guys might be implementing to help you get in touch with that love and light that is within. So that's definitely coming through. Oh, so as far as what people assume about that, I feel like there is something about you that does come across as being spiritual. It might be how, you know, you look, how you dress, something is symbolic here that's coming through that people can kind of catch on right away. Maybe it's a piece of jewelry that you wear, okay? I'm just getting the impression that people do know this about you. Okay, so as far as your feelings go, okay, you definitely are in touch with your feelings. It's like you've got this world of emotion going on, but again, I feel like as far as your outer appearance goes, you don't really show it, okay? Unlike maybe like, let's say a water sign or somebody. And even if you are a water sign, I feel like this is just like how you're coming across, okay? So you have this very calm, poker face type demeanor, okay? Even if you're feeling it and the emotions are intense, you still have like this very almost like stoic nature about you on the outside, okay? Which I actually feel like calms people, okay? I feel like this group in particular can be like a rock for people, and you put people at ease and they feel like everything's gonna be all right. In fact, I'm getting like Bob Marley vibes for this group, okay? Like people kind of just assume like nothing phases you guys and you just kind of like let things roll off you and you roll with things, okay? Just getting that, like almost like you guys have this mantra of don't worry, be happy. Like every little thing is gonna be all right. Whether you actually believe that or not, I feel like you say that and it kind of like makes it to where it seems like that's true. You know what I mean? Like kind of like putting that out there, like an affirmation. So that's interesting, group 3. And I feel like you do help people with that. Okay, so like your presence helps people. You guys are like a natural healer, okay? Yeah, and it's just your presence. So that's amazing, group 3. I feel like, okay, those that do know about your spiritual side might even assume that you are a healer. I'm getting like now that some of you might actually do like Reiki, Qigong, you might even feng shui your house, okay? That might even be part of the 6th house change. I'm just feeling like you guys have gone through some kind of transformation and you are making some lifestyle changes, and it's all like symbolic and reflecting this new you. Okay, so what's interesting too, group 3, is even if you are in the spotlight or get a lot of attention, okay, a lot of pursuers, doesn't matter what it is, it's kind of like people still assume that you have this humbleness about you, okay? I'm getting a very grounded, down to earth feel about you, okay? Like you keep it real. You keep yourself level-headed. And I think that's amazing. That's an amazing balance to have. And I feel like whatever it is that you do for a living is inspiring to others. And you are seen to be like a success with the 10 of Pentacles, okay? Like you're really building a life for yourself. And some, you know, I'm just getting this feeling though that you guys have definitely gone through some kind of a change, okay? So people don't exactly even know what to expect with you right now, or even what to assume. But they're intrigued by this. And I feel like that's why they want to know more about you. Because you don't, you know, broadcast and say every little thing about what's going on. Very mysterious, group 3. Okay, group number 3. I'm actually curious. If this resonates, let me know. But also let me know, like, what is this change? What's this like, what changes have you made? In the comments. And if this resonated, don't forget to give it a like. All right, bye guys.